Welcome. Thanks for joining us on the Visit Julian podcast. I'm your host. My name is Robin, and this podcast is all about the small businesses and the events that come together to create this amazing place that we call Julian, California. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the show, and we hope that you visit us soon. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Visit Julian podcast. As you know, I start every podcast with telling you that I'm excited. I must be the most excited person that you know, but I am excited. I have Lara Julian, and she's with Mountain Healing Acupuncture. More words after that?
No.
That's it? I don't know if there you had some other long, drawn out, we're mystical, magical, let us put our hands on you name of your business. Welcome to doing a podcast with Robin. I'm a complete doofus.
I love it.
So you are probably one of my first people who's come to the podcast with an agenda of things you want to share. And I think that's super cool. So I'm probably going to talk a lot less for the listeners during this podcast than I normally do because you've got some stuff to tell. So you were going to talk about how the seasons of the year really relate to our health. And right now we're springtime, but I'm sure you'll give some information on others. And I don't want to try to even explain that cool stuff you told me about. But so let's just give it a start. You were talking about meridians and all that good stuff. So let's tell the listeners about that stuff.
Yeah. So how it works is we have 5 main seasons in the year. And that's, summer is broken up into regular summer and then Indian summer. So we technically think of 4 main seasons a year. But in Chinese medicine, there's 5 elements. And those 5 elements do connect to the 5 seasons, where summer is just broken up into two different parts.
Is that because it's hotter at certain parts? Like early summer is cooler, late summer is
hot. And so you have a season, but there's 2 kind of different, feelings, so to speak, during that season. So the springtime is connected to the liver and gallbladder meridians. And so what that means is we have 12 main acupuncture channels, meridians. I think of them as freeway systems or freeways in the body or streams in the body, if you will, moving water. And those 2 meridians connect to each season. So right now, springtime is connected to the liver and gallbladder. And that means that the liver and gallbladder meridians, or freeway systems in our body, go weak. And it doesn't necessarily mean that your liver organ is in trouble or your gallbladder organ is going to need problems or have problems. It's more of the energetics that connect to those organs that we're talking about. However, if there is extreme disharmony in the energetics of a meridian, it can affect the actual organ. So that's kind of like a boiled down kind of version of...
Right. Is there a simple way to explain why the seasons affect our meridians, or is it just an ancient thing that's known?
Basically, yes. I mean, how I think of it is the universe knows how to grow food that's going to complement where we're weak. So how I can explain that is in springtime, what's in season is lemons and greens. You think of spring green. You see dandelion, roots and dandelion flowers growing everywhere. Those weeds are actually one of the most nourishing root, flower, and leaf for our liver organ and liver meridian.
So our bodies sort of follow the earth, or really the earth follows our bodies. So that those are during these times of the year, the earth grows those things because our body needs them. It satisfies our bodies.
Absolutely. Okay. So it's basically eating right for the seasons, or eating in accordance to the seasons.
Okay.
So in the wintertime, you're going to eat more heavy, fatty, oily, dense foods because you're hanging out, you're doing less food, you plump up, and you think of it, if there's snow and you don't move around a lot, you stay inside and you're just kind of you go internal, you sleep more because it's the slow down season. When we move into spring, it's get up and go, declutter, get moving. So the bears coming out of hibernation, they're mad, they want to shout, and that is the sound of the liver and the season. So shouting, expressing anger is really, really important in this season, because when you bottle anger up in this season, it shuts down the liver and the gallbladder energies a lot more intensely than it would in another season.
So express yourself.
Yeah, express yourself, connect to your creativity, connect to what makes you feel inspired, decluttering your house. Yeah. I mean, the motto of spring is elimination equals illumination.
Ooh.
So you clean out your car, you clean out your house, clean out your bedroom, maybe pick 3 things you're going to, move out of your house or move out of your car so that you can create more space to have, more flow, basically.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So it applies. It sounds like it applies to everything. I mean, you hear the spring cleaning, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. So you just have to put it all together and think about it.
Right. So, the springtime is a really good time to, diet-wise, avoid like the stuff that you do in winter. So your liver's going weak. So you want to avoid heavy, greasy, fatty foods, foods that are fried, foods that are harder to digest, right? So
you're breaking my heart.
I know, right? This is the season to do some sprouting. Get a mason jar out and get some seeds and do some sprouting. Seeds that are sprouting in spring are one of the most nutrient-dense foods to eat right now because green is the color that connects to the liver and gallbladder. So wearing green, looking at green, eating green foods, all of those things are going to help the liver and gallbladder energies because green is the color. And that's why you see green everywhere. After the winter and all the rain and snow, spring is when green is just an overabundance everywhere. So if you don't eat a lot of greens, doing cold pressed juicing is a great way to get more greens in your diet to help balance the energies in spring and, just keep your liver and gallbladder super healthy.
Wow, that's a lot of information, but it makes sense. It's like if you look at life around you, what you're saying makes complete sense. The earth is doing these things during spring. Take your advice from the earth, right?
Yep.
Take the green, take the citrus.
Eat what's in season, eat what's, available, nutrient dense right now, and it'll be different each season. So when we move into summer, you're not going to eat as many greens. You're going to have watermelon and celery and cucumber and grapes and every single fruit and vegetable that's loaded with water because fire is abundant and you get a lot of, problems with, overheating and too much heat and all that stuff. And so that's why, in summertime, all the watermelon and berries and fruits and vegetables that are water dense are available, opposite of winter time. So, if you think of the number one season of the year for detoxifying and cleansing, it's spring. Deep cleaning your house, deep cleaning your car, deep cleaning your body. This is a really good season to detox. So colon cleanses, even just as simple as adding a pinch of psyllium husk, insoluble fiber, that basically to your diet, and just having it I do a little pinch of it with some water, and it really, really helps scratch all of the plaque and the old debris in the colon and move it out of your body so that you can have more space and less toxicity in there. So whereas in wintertime, it's not the ideal time to do a detox. You want to just basically almost like eat more and not retox, but
Yeah, but it's like because like the bears, right? Well, they hibernate, but like let's say they have to put on all this extra weight, to sustain them for some time.
Yep, keeping the insulation up so you can withstand the cold. The temperatures, not that type of thing. Absolutely. Right. So colon cleansing and detoxifying is really, really important this time of year, and that just goes hand in hand with waking up and having lemon water in the morning. Yeah. You do that. Lemon water is very alkalizing. It eats up cancer cells in your body. It is a total pH balancer, and it totally detoxifies your liver. If you think about every cleaning product you use, usually it has a lemon or an orange or a citrus lime, scent because the properties of citrus is just very cleansing.
Got it. Cool. Can I ask you, I don't know if you were prepared for this question, during this springtime, what kind of services do you offer that work in conjunction with the season?
Basically, like a tune-up, like a detox for the body. So I'll dredge the liver channel, which means, I do a lot of acupressure in my treatment. So it's not just needles. You come in and you get 25 to 30 minutes of acupressure, massage. And what that means is the meridians the points that the meridians are on, I'm going to be stimulating with just pressure, not necessarily needles. And so treatments in spring are going to be focused on moving liver, castor oil packs over the liver, which castor oil is a very, very powerful viscous and sticky oil that stains everything, but it's incredible. Putting it topically over your liver organ, which your liver organ sits right underneath the right breast, just underneath the rib cage there, is an excellent place with heat to detoxify the liver. You can put it on the lower abdomen as well for a bunch of other issues related to digestion and colon health and removing fibroids, or not removing them, but actually shrinking them, shrinking cysts. I even put castor oil topically on, weird skin stuff that, grows on my body, and I get barnacles.
What is that?
I have psoriasis, so I'll get little patches, and I'll put like psoriasis on them with a little Band-Aid and do like a 2-week protocol, and it'll just flake off and fall off and dissolve. It's cool. Unbelievable. It's even growing my eyelashes and my eyebrows. I'm putting it on my skin. You can put it all over your face. That's one new thing that I've been trying. So
where do you get it? Just like at the grocery store?
Yep, you can get it. Yes, and it's really, really important to get castor oil if you can find it in a glass brown bottle so that light doesn't permeate into it. It's really easy to find castor oil. Health food stores, Amazon. You can get it in a roll-on. You can get it in just like a regular bottle. But it does pull the toxins out of your body. So it's going to be pulling the plastic toxins out into the castor oil. So I try to find sources that are in glass. Amazon, health food stores. It's really, really easy to find.
Oh, cool. All right, good.
Yeah. I love that stuff.
All right. Before I interrupted you, I think we were at the end of summer, maybe? Is that where we were?
Who knows at this point?
I know, right? Well, it's good information. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So spring, citrus, and then, summer. So talk about the regular summer and then the transition to Indian summer.
So right at the beginning of summer, it's basically where the energy is the hottest. You can easily get sunburn, easily get a heat stroke, easily, just really, there's just a lot of really hot fire blazing. It's when the heart and small intestine meridians go weak, and it's just a really important time to have watermelon, have the grapes, have the cucumbers and stuff like that. When we move into late summer, or quote-unquote Indian summer, it's more of like the heat that's kind of gone deeper. So we think of the foods that are orange, that are going to be pumpkins, butternut squash, carrots, making soups and stews out of, like a butternut squash, bake a butternut squash, some carrots, and blend that with bone broth. Or blend that, the late summer is kind of more connected to eating more of the orange fruits and vegetables that are more nourishing, preparing us for fall, but not as water dense as the beginning, blazing beginning part of summer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah.
Cool.
I know.
And then we go into fall.
Yeah. We go into fall. Okay, so before we go into fall, I just wanted to mention every season has an emotional connection. We mentioned spring being the liver connection that is connected to anger. And the summer is connected to joy. And so a lot of times if our heart, small intestine meridians are out of balance in the beginning part of summer, it's easy to become depressed. That joy is just gets flipped, right? So in general, I had a point. But anyway, so joy is the emotion for the summer. And then we move into fall, but before we go into fall, it's that Indian summer. And that gets more into worrying, excess overthinking. When you ruminate in your mind, or you're a student and you're studying and you're overthinking and just in your mind, doing the lists, making the things, going over stories in your head, that really depletes the spleen and stomach energy. And so it's really important in late summer to really go on vacation and to just really do the affirmation is all is well. We are, everything is fine, even though it may not be. But that worrying is what is the emotion that connects to the later summertime. And then you move into fall, and the emotion that connects to fall is sadness and grief. And so in fall is when the lung and the large intestine meridians go weak. And that's why technically it's traditionally called flu season, because the lungs control our immune system and our skin. And so it's very easy to get a cough, asthma to flare, bronchitis, respiratory infections, and even just getting, immune dipped and sick. Very easy to happen in the fall. And so if we have unexpressed sadness, unexpressed grief that is lingering in our body, it has the tendency to really show up and flare in the fall season if we're not careful on boosting and tonifying the lung and large intestine in late summer.
That's funny, because my daughter always, without fail, is deathly ill between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yep.
Every year.
Yep. That's why.
Because she's sad.
Well, no, because we need to flush out the lung energy. Yeah. So cupping is a really easy way to flush out the lung energy. It's a great, easy technique you can do on babies all the way up to as old as you can be. I have.
If you're alive, we can do it.
If you're breathing, you can do it. I've been cupping my kids since they were probably a couple months old, and the second they feel any kind of immune issue, they go, Mom, we need to do cups. And so we'll just do a family cupping exchange, and it's just wonderful. But yeah, keeping the lungs clear and strong before we go into winter, before we go into fall is really important to avoid getting, the flu, quote unquote, and any kind of, lung respiratory flare. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, so I think this is super interesting. I think I'm going to play this podcast on like a 1 point whatever, like minus, so it goes a little slower so people can hear it, because you can control the speed. So if we're talking really slow right now, I think this is super cool, and I think people might want to listen to it more than once. So that's really cool. Let's talk about where you're located. Your business, that sort of thing.
I'm just down the street from Town Hall on Main Street, 2015 Main Street. I'm right in the McKinney building on the bottom floor next to the Community Valley Bank building. And I'm there most days, mainly Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I can take Wednesday and Friday appointments. And I'm just treating my San Diego clientele on Mondays.
Oh, cool. You're down the hill.
I'm down I used to run a 9-room integrative medical center in Bankers Hill for about 12 years. And after COVID, no one wanted to come to work. And it was like, I need to, close this and move and sell my house and start a new practice. And so now I rent a room 2 rooms in San Diego from my old receptionist and my old client of 20 years ago. So we have a full circle and we're working together again. So it's really, really fun and nice. But yeah, most of the time I'm up here in Julian.
Great. Yeah. And I have heard so many people who see you talk about how you're like magic, and they really enjoy services from you. Just recently you treated one of my best friends, and she's just amazing. So kudos to you. You're building yourself quite the reputation in town of being the magic touch. So you offer acupressure, acupuncture, and cupping, which I think, looking at your social media, cupping seems to be like your
main thing,
like your go-to, baby. Let's cup that body.
I definitely am a low-tech, high-touch girl, so I need to get better with my media posts in general, but I love what I do. I've been doing it for lifetimes. In this lifetime, 20 years, and I do a lot of massage, acupressure, and I still can't find an acupuncturist that will do that type of acupressure for me. So I'm just always trying to, show people how to do it on themselves. And, I just love to do it. It's just so powerful. Way to move and balance the body in just a few minutes even, so.
Yeah. Now, I'm just want to dig deeper into this for those who are listening who might still see cupping as a fad. The first time I, and probably much of the nation, ever heard or saw cupping is Michael Phelps, right?
Yes.
And it was like, what the is all over that guy's arms, So maybe if you don't mind and you feel it's appropriate for this conversation, just talk a little bit. I get cupping on a constant basis because of my back problems. And I tell you, sometimes I'm like, same thing like with your kids. I need cupping. Yes. So maybe you can elaborate and explain what cupping does. Like when you put a cup on someone, what does it do to their body?
Basically, the theory of cupping, and it's very similar to gua sha. So cupping and gua sha are both 2 modalities that break up adhesions, boost the immune system, and reduce pain. However, gua sha is more superficial. So if you have a tight knot that you can really feel on the surface, gua sha can break it up a lot faster and easier if you don't need to do a cup for a longer period of time. Cupping is deeper. It's a lung treatment, an immune treatment, but it can also be used musculoskeletal-wise. So you'll see it used often in PT clinics, orthopedic clinics, all kinds of different modalities. Massage therapists use them all the time because they are. Think of like if you've ever had a fish tank and you cleaned the rocks underneath clean the rocks at the bottom of the tank. That siphon that goes down in there. A cup, when you put a cup on, and if you're doing fire cupping, it's different than like a suction pump cup. There's plastic pumps or plastic cupping sets that you can get that you can just control the suction intensity by how many pumps you do. Okay. And that's what I do on babies and kids because, it's easier to control how intense it is. Fire cupping, in my opinion, is more effective and it's faster and it's you're able to slide the cups over the body and over different areas, which can be very, very, very effective and feel very good in certain areas. Now, if you're doing the IT band for knee issues and hip issues, it can be a little bit intense. But what we're doing is we're pulling the body's energy and blood flow deep down inside up through to the surface of the body. I think of it as like a flush and rinse. When you clean a fish tank and you're siphoning under the rocks, you're loosening up all of the debris under the rocks, right? Yeah. All the fish stuff under there. And then most of it's getting sucked out into the tube and pulled out. But some of that, and if you've ever cleaned a fish tank, will make the water cloudy. Right. And it'll stay cloudy before, until the filter kicks in. Or, i.e. if with the person, until your lymphatic system kicks in. And the more hydrated you are and the stronger your lymphatic system is, the easier it is for the body to clear the we'll just say debris, quote unquote, out of the body, and then the marks will go away faster than 5 to 7 days. Sometimes it can last sometimes 2 weeks. Oh yeah, that just shows for a while. The body is just still needing to clear out the stagnation, or in Chinese medicine they call it sand. If you think of a river that's moving, if there's too much sand, too many rocks, too much blockage in the river, the flow of the river impedes, and then when that happens, you have pain. Think of that, when you just have that sand in your channels, it's pain. What you got to do is you just have to move the energy and blood flow. Yeah. Heat is the best modality, one of the best modalities to move energy and blood flow because heat moves blood. Ice is great for injuries that are happening acutely in the first couple hours because it slows the energy down, But then longer term, you need to keep the energy flushing and moving and, through there. So, so cupping is like one of my, I just love it.
I love cupping, but depending on where I am physically, because I had a lot of nerve damage from this back problem that I had that I couldn't take care of because there was too much going on in my life. And sometimes it is so excruciating for about 20 seconds. Yep. It's that first 20 seconds where you're like, you almost want to say, take it off, but that once that 20 seconds calms, and then for the next week, I just I can feel it, and it's my giant thigh, my big old chicken leg, and oh man, so it's acupuncture, not painful. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, I'm scared. There you go. I'm scared of needles, blah blah blah. It is not painful. I get it on a weekly basis. Yeah. It's amazing, but let's be honest. Cupping can be painful, but if you can work through it, the benefits are
outstanding.
Amazing.
Outstanding. Sometimes I tell my clients, hate me now, thank me later.
Right. Yeah. If my therapist talks to me when I'm in pain, it's, please, I just need a minute. Just don't
touch it. Don't slide it.
Don't. But it's only like 20 seconds, and then you start to feel whatever it is that you feel. That's the relief that it's working and good things are happening.
Yeah, a total flush and rinse. Absolutely.
So one question I always ask people who provide body services is, who is your client? Like if there's a bunch of people listening, what is a ideal client of yours going through that would be a good fit for you? Excuse me while I mumble through that conversation.
Oh, you're fine. I treat so many different types of people, but my ideal type of client is somebody who needs body work, who is tight, who is stressed, who responds well to body work and deep pressure. I kind of think of myself as like a bulldog where I can be sweet, but I'm there to get a job done. Right. If you want a fluff and buff treatment, I'm not your girl. I'm here to do medical massage. I'm here to solve pretty intense physical issues. I've dealt with a lot of paralysis and Bell's palsy and all kinds of really intense issues, and I love someone that can handle, and I can do light pressure too. I mean, that's really easy for me. Yeah. But it's really easy for me to do deep work too. So I like to find people that need deep work, that that want to have cupping, that want that need it in the and I just they leave and they just, where's my wheelchair? I just want to roll on out of here. I feel amazing, type of thing, because I do my treatments are intense. They are very stimulating and very moving. They're very relaxing. Oftentimes I have people fall asleep. However, it's definitely, for a client that likes, to have more of that style of intense pressure or movement rebalancing. So yeah.
Cool. And I know that you have obviously the way to get a hold of you would be a phone number, an email. What other ways do we have people
basically
get in touch with
like
you?
I said, I'm so low tech, high touch, low tech. So just text me, call me. I mean, I have an email. I mean, I'll be a lot faster to get it back to you if you just shoot me a text
message,
or call me, text me that you called me, tell me, and I'll be like, boop, 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 right there. I'm slower at my email and slower at my, other ways, but,
So text messages. Yeah, everybody has their thing, so I want to make sure that people would know. So, in the show notes, I'll be sure to put your phone number so people can text you if they want.
Awesome.
I will put the link to your social media. That puts pressure on you to update your social media.
That's great. I need the pressure. I've got a little goal going.
But I mean, I did check out your social media, and you talked about the lemon water, and it seemed like cupping. Yeah. I think also cupping is such a visual service that you can take those photos, and they're really easy to share.
I often use a lot of infrared light, and so it's hard to get a good picture of the needles with the infrared light on there because the needles go invisible when you have the light in there. So I need to play with that. I always I'm so in the moment. I always forget to take pictures for clients.
Yeah, totally. But so I'll put those. We'll also put some pictures on the slideshow so people can, see your shop, see you and your cute little smiley face. Even though you said, I'm a bear. Yep.
I don't want to scare people away, but in general, it's,
No, you know what? Here's the thing. I mean, I'm 56. I did not start any of these kinds of treatments until things just went really wrong with me because life circumstances, as a mom and a wife, going around all these other things happening, I just stuffed that pain. Absolutely. And then at some point, I couldn't stuff it. So be open to trying new things. It's not like I, said, I was like, I had a friend. Well, she's your friend. I think she's everybody's friend. Vika, Vika, I was doing massage with her, and we were doing them like once a month, a couples massage, and I was going through really bad plantar fasciitis, like. Oh, can you help with that as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she was like, you need to see our acupuncturist. And I trusted Vika, so I did it. And my plantar fasciitis is just, I mean, it doesn't go the first day. Yeah. But then she gave me tips about soaking my feet in magnesium, warm water, hot water, or whatever. And all these things. And so now here I am 3 years later, and it's a modality, if that's a proper term for me to use, that I don't think I could live without. Like, it is imperative to my survival.
Yeah, it'll keep your pain meds way down, and it also is keeping you in prevention of developing any other organ and system problems in general. So not only is it a pain, helps with pain and feeling better, but it's treating your nervous system, and it's helping prevent other issues. So. Even if you feel great, getting a session every time the seasons change. So about every 3 months, you come in for an oil change. Yeah, my clients that rate anything above like, a 2 or 3, they'll come in. Like once a month. And then if it goes down into, like the 0s or 1s, they'll come in once a season.
Yeah.
But anybody that rates their pain or their issue above like a 4 or 5 will come in once a week until we can get that number down. Yeah. So that's kind of like how I gauge, how that's often you need treatments. And once your cupping marks go away, you can get more if you have the pain, So that's kind of like a hiker was asking me yesterday, like how much acupuncture is too much and how much cupping is too much. And can I do this, all the time? I'm like, well, yes, but just have let your body give a chance to clear the some of the debris out of there before you're doing another whole intense detox.
Right.
But this is the season if you are ready to really solve an issue and get your body detoxed. This is the season where your body can handle it.
I mean, we're springtime. We're kind of mid-spring, so that's perfect. And then the next season coming up is that summer. So it's a perfect opportunity for people to get their fingers out and start texting Lara and say, hey, I need a session.
You're so cute.
That's funny. I totally appreciate you coming in. I want to make sure I always ask, is there something I forgot to ask you about or one last thing you want to tell anybody?
I just want to recap like some of the main things for spring. So when you think of spring, I want you to think of the color for spring is green. So wear green, eat green, look at green, visualize green going into your liver and gallbladder organs. Those are all really powerful things to do to strengthen the liver and gallbladder meridians. And the foods that you want to do, the taste is sour. So lemon, lime, and sour food it up. The emotion is anger. So express your anger. If you're really upset about something, go break some dishes or go boxing or
be Greek. Oh, boy.
What I do is I sometimes when I'm really mad, I'll put a dish, in a bag, and I'll seal it up, and I'll put it in another bag, and I'll write all the things on the brown bag that I can't stand and I'm mad about. Then I can go smash it without a big mess.
That's very cool.
It's very cathartic. It depends on if you're into anger work, you can get a wiffle ball bat and get a pillow, crank the music, and just start pounding out what you're mad about, and that literally will transmute the anger that's trapped in your cellular body and actually move it out of your cells and really protect your liver. But anyway, or exercise. Just go on a hike. Pound the pavement, baby.
Right there you go. Pound the dirt.
Yep. So,
but it's no excuse to be mean to people. Don't yell at someone and go, "It's my liver."
Well, I noticed road rage. I was stuck behind someone slow, and I was like, "You're not going to pull over after you had that spot on the turn?" I'm like, my kids are like, "Mom, just calm down." I'm like, "You're right. Let's do some dragon fire breathing." Actually, that's another way to really move stuck energy in the liver is to do a dragon fire breath, where you breathe in like this, and then you can hiss out all of the flames, all the toxic energy. It's great for when you're at a stoplight or in your car, no one can hear you.
It's so funny you say that because I've never heard that before. But when I get angry and like there's someone's around me, I'll do it for fun. I will pretend like I'm a cat and I'll go.
Yeah, that's totally intuitive. Yeah. That's, the liver loves that. The liver loves hissing, loves shouting, loves yelling, and sighing. So if you notice yourself like always sighing, in general, that is a sign that the liver needs some more movement. So I sometimes will do the exaggerated sigh when I'm really annoyed with something, where you just take a deep breath in and you go, like dread, and then
I've learned that.
You usually start laughing because it moves the anger and transmutes it into laughter. Sometimes when you transmute anger, it turns into sadness and you're crying. That's when you know you've really changed the emotion out of your body. And then just real quick, some of the physical connections that the liver and gallbladder have with our physical body are the eyes. The liver goes to the eyes. So if you're getting styes in your eye or you're having redness in your eyes, we think of it as angry eyes, So we want to move that anger out of the liver and out of the body so it doesn't affect the eyesight. And the liver controls our tendons and ligaments. So this is a season I'm treating a lot of hikers who are having knee tendon ligament issues in general because the liver will control those areas, and the liver also controls nails. So if you notice your nails are pitting or there's spots in them, white stuff in them, psoriasis in the nail, any of that stuff is connected to the liver, and the liver is going to want some extra love.
Oh, wow. Love your livers, people.
So being in balance this season, it's basically cleansing the body, detoxifying the body, home elimination, detoxifying your home and your car, exercise, get gardening, and get into your creativity and your enthusiasm. What makes you feel excited and creative? Because that's really, really important to keep our bodies healthy throughout the year. If you're in balance this season, you'll be able to know because you'll feel stuck in your patterns. You'll feel like laziness. You just like, oh, I know I need to do that, but you just don't do it. Congestion is more of like an excess, we want to clear out any congestion in our body, in our home, in our car, etc. And then, if you're finding yourself, overeating or wanting more drugs or wanting more caffeine or wanting more things that are going to basically drudge down the liver, we got to just get into, okay, how's the planting going? How's the garden going? Let's try to redirect instead of, going back into some of those old patterns. So,
very good advice. Yeah. I totally appreciate you coming in and talking with us and, us, like I'm Mr. Rogers. Thank you for visiting our neighborhood today.
Oh, my God.
Sometimes I'm an idiot. What can I say?
I love it.
That was great. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put the information in the show notes. You're going to send me some photos for these people to see, all them cuppings.
Yep.
No, thanks so much, Lara. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Robin.
All right. Over and out. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of our podcast, Visit Julian. This amazing background music is played by Nathan James, who often performs at different venues throughout Julian. Check out our website, visitjulian.com. You can see an event calendar or just browse all the great things there are to see and do. Thanks again. Until next time.